Traveling after 60 doesn't have to feel stressful or exhausting. In fact, air travel can become much smoother once you understand the small advantages built into airline and airport systems. Benefits many seniors never hear about simply because no one explains them clearly. These aren't loopholes or special favors. They're practical options designed to make your journey easier, safer, and more comfortable. The challenge is that most of these helpful services stay hidden behind booking screens, automatic check-in kiosks, or long policy pages that few people have time to read. And unless you know what to ask for, the system usually stays silent. This guide was created to change that. With a warm, step-by-step approach, we'll explore simple strategies senior travelers in the U.S. can use to save time, reduce stress, and improve comfort without paying extra or upgrading. Every airline is different, so it's always wise to double-check details directly. But once you know what to look for, your entire travel experience can feel lighter and more manageable. Let's start unlocking what's already available to you. 1. Airport assistance that many seniors don't realize they can request. Airports today can feel overwhelming: long walks, crowded checkpoints, and constant rushing. But what many senior travelers in the U.S. don't realize is that most large airports already provide supportive services specifically meant to ease this burden. These services aren't limited to passengers with medical needs. They are also available to older adults who simply want a smoother, less tiring journey. You won't see big signs advertising them, and they may not appear automatically when you book a ticket. But a quick request, either online before your trip or at the check-in counter, can connect you with assistance that makes every step easier. This may include guided help through security wheelchair service or transportation within the terminal using electric carts. For travelers over 60, the goal isn't about special treatment. It's about comfort, safety, and preserving energy for the trip ahead. Policies vary by airport and airline, so it's always wise to check their official websites for the most up-to-date information. But once you know what's available, asking becomes simple, and the benefits can transform your whole travel day. 2. How senior travelers can improve their seat without paying extra. Finding a comfortable seat can make a huge difference, especially on long flights. But many travelers over 60 never realize that seat availability changes throughout the day and that timing can work in your favor. Here's what often happens behind the scenes. As the departure time gets closer, airlines adjust their seating charts to accommodate last-minute changes, cancellations, and connecting passengers. During this process, certain seats, sometimes aisle seats closer to the front, or even extra legroom spots, may quietly become available again. You don't need elite status or special tricks to take advantage of this. What helps most is checking your reservation at the right moment. For many airlines, refreshing your seat selection a few hours before departure can reveal options that weren't visible earlier. If you're already at the airport, you can also stop by the check-in counter or gate and politely ask whether any more comfortable seats have opened up. Every airline has its own system, and nothing is guaranteed. So it's wise to view this as an opportunity, not a promise. Still, for many senior travelers, simply choosing the right time to ask has led to a noticeably more comfortable journey without spending a dollar more. 3. Understanding baggage flexibility for senior travelers. Baggage rules can feel confusing, even for frequent flyers, and the fees can add up quickly. But what many travelers over 60 don't realize is that some airlines offer greater flexibility for older passengers, though the details are rarely highlighted during booking. This flexibility can appear in different forms depending on the airline. In certain cases, seniors may receive a slightly higher weight allowance, reduced fees, or exceptions that agents can apply at their discretion. These options are not universal, and they vary widely between carriers, which is why it's essential to check each airline's official policy page for the most current information. What often makes the biggest difference is simply asking. When checking in online, you can look for notes related to special assistance or senior passenger policies. If you don't see anything, speaking with an airline representative either through chat support or at the counter can clarify whether any adjustments are available for your trip, even when additional baggage isn't guaranteed. Many seniors report that respectful communication and clear explanations of their needs lead to helpful solutions. The key is to stay informed and proactive. A quick question before your flight can save both stress and unnecessary expense, and it ensures you're using every option that is legitimately available to you. 4. Senior discounts that don't always appear online. Many travelers trust comparison websites because they seem fast and convenient. But for seniors, these sites can sometimes hide valuable opportunities, not intentionally, but simply because they don't collect age-related information. As a result, certain discounts or flexible options for passengers over 60 may never show up in search results. Some airlines, especially those that serve large senior communities, offer reduced fares, early boarding options, or more flexible change policies for older passengers. These offers aren't universal and can change over time, so it's important to check directly with the airline for the most accurate details. On many official booking pages, you may find a box labeled Senior, Older Adult, or Passenger 60+. Selecting it can reveal prices or fare categories that were invisible on third-party travel sites. And sometimes the best information comes from a real conversation. Calling the airline's customer service line can help you confirm whether any age-related discounts apply to your route. Representatives may guide you toward a fare type that better suits your needs even when it doesn't appear on screen. You may not always find a lower price, but taking a few minutes to check can lead to savings, extra flexibility, or simply a more comfortable set of options for your trip. It's a small step that can make a meaningful difference. 5. Early boarding options many seniors can request. Boarding is often the most stressful part of flying crowded lines, limited overhead space, and the feeling of being rushed. But many senior travelers in the U.S. don't realize that some airlines allow older adults to board earlier, even if it's not printed on the ticket or announced over the speaker. This isn't about receiving special privileges. It's about safety and comfort. Airlines understand that boarding calmly without pressure from the crowd helps reduce fatigue and gives travelers more time to settle in. However, because boarding procedures vary by airline, these options aren't always automatic. In many cases, the system simply waits for you to speak up. If boarding feels stressful for you, one of the simplest things you can do is ask at the gate. Is early boarding available for senior passengers? Gate agents can often place you in an earlier group if space and procedures allow. They may also guide you to the right area so you can board without feeling rushed. It's not guaranteed. Policies differ between airlines and can change over time, but many senior travelers find that asking politely makes a meaningful difference. Early boarding isn't about moving ahead of others. It's about giving yourself the time and calm environment you deserve. And sometimes just one question can make the entire start of your trip feel more relaxed. 6. Small in-flight comfort seniors can still request. Once on the plane, comfort matters more than ever. Yet many senior travelers don't realize that flight attendants often have flexibility to offer small extras that aren't listed on the paid menu. These aren't luxury perks, just simple comforts that can make long flights gentler and less tiring. For example, some airlines allow crew members to provide complimentary items like water refills, an extra cup of tea, or a small snack when available. These gestures are never guaranteed, and they depend on the airline's policies, the route, and what the crew has on hand. But when travelers over 60 ask respectfully, many attendants are happy to help where they can. A friendly approach makes all the difference. Something as simple as, if possible, may I have a little extra water or a small snack? I'm a senior traveler, and I'd appreciate it, can open the door to kindness and conversation. It's important to remember that flight attendants must follow safety rules, service procedures, and inventory limits. They can't grant every request, but they can offer human warmth, and sometimes that comes with a helpful extra that makes your flight a little easier. For seniors, these small comforts can turn a routine trip into a more relaxed, pleasant experience, one polite request at a time. 7. Last-minute seat improvements. You can ask for at the gate. The moments right before boarding can feel chaotic: announcements, crowded walkways, everyone anxious to get on the plane. But for senior travelers, this short window can sometimes offer a valuable opportunity, a chance to request a more comfortable seat that wasn't available earlier. Here's why. As boarding time approaches, airlines finalize their passenger lists. Some people miss connections, others switch flights, and a few seats become unexpectedly open. Gate agents who manage these real-time changes often have the flexibility to reassign seats when it doesn't disrupt the boarding process. Nothing is guaranteed, of course, and each airline has its own guidelines. But many seniors find that approaching the gate calmly before boarding begins and asking a simple question can make a difference. If any more comfortable seats become available, may I be considered? I'm a senior traveler. Agents may be able to move you to an aisle seat, a spot closer to the front, or a row with more breathing room. Even if no adjustments can be made, they'll usually let you know your options clearly. This isn't about special treatment, it's about advocating for your comfort at a moment when the seating chart is the most flexible. And for many senior travelers, this small, timely request has led to flights that feel noticeably easier and more enjoyable. 8. Knowing your rights when flights are delayed or canceled. Flight disruptions are frustrating for everyone, but they can feel especially draining for older travelers. What many passengers over 60 don't realize is that U.S. airlines have clear responsibilities during delays and cancellations, and you may have more options than you think. In the United States, each airline sets its own service commitments, but most follow similar guidelines. If your flight is significantly delayed or canceled, you may be eligible for rebooking at no extra cost, meal vouchers during long waits, or hotel accommodations if the disruption extends overnight. The exact rules vary, which is why it's important to check your airline's official customer service plan for the most up-to-date details. Beyond the basic policies, airline agents also have discretion in how they assist passengers, especially seniors who may need extra support. Approaching the counter calmly and clearly explaining your situation often leads to better solutions, such as earlier rebooking options or more comfortable arrangements. A helpful starting line might be, I'm a senior traveler and would appreciate knowing all the assistance options available for this delay. This keeps the conversation polite and practical. Remember, none of these steps guarantee special treatment, but staying informed and speaking up can help you receive the full support the airline already provides. 9. Why travel knowledge matters more after 60. After the age of 60, travel doesn't necessarily become harder. It simply requires a different kind of preparation. Many senior travelers assume the airport experience is fixed: long lines, crowded boarding areas, confusing procedures, and rising costs. But in reality, a lot of the stress comes from not knowing which options are available or how to request them. Airlines and airports are large, complex systems. They create policies to support a wide range of travelers, including older adults, but they don't always communicate these policies clearly. Some services require you to opt in. Some discounts appear only on certain booking pages. And many comfort options like priority help from staff or more flexible seating are available only if you ask. This doesn't mean the system is hiding anything. It simply means that information often gets lost in fine print or buried behind website menus. For senior travelers, staying informed is a form of empowerment. Knowing when to speak up, what questions to ask, and how to check official sources can turn a tiring day into a manageable one. Traveling confidently isn't about being lucky. It's about understanding the small decisions that make a big difference. Decisions that protect your comfort, your energy, and your peace of mind. 10. Taking control of your travel experience. By the time you reach your 60s, you've gathered a lifetime of experience, yet air travel can still feel like stepping into a system that moves too quickly and speaks its own language. The truth is many parts of that system were designed with older adults in mind, but they only become useful when you know they're there. Taking control doesn't mean demanding special treatment. It simply means understanding your options and feeling comfortable asking for assistance when you need it. Whether it's early boarding a clearer seat choice, help navigating the terminal, or guidance during a delay. Each small action adds up to a smoother journey. Airlines and airports update their policies regularly, so the best habit you can develop is to check their official sites before traveling. A quick look at the Special Assistance or Customer Service Plan section can give you the latest information. And once you arrive at the airport, speaking politely with staff can open doors you didn't expect. Travel after 60 should feel empowering, not intimidating. With the right knowledge and the confidence to ask, you can create trips that are calmer, safer, and far more comfortable than you ever imagined. Traveling after 60 doesn't have to feel stressful or complicated. With a little preparation and the confidence to ask for what you need, your trips can become far more comfortable and enjoyable. Every airline and airport has its own rules, so always check official sources for the most current information. But once you know what's available, you can travel with ease, clarity, and peace of mind. Here's to smoother journeys, one informed step at a time.